entered facing charges of rape in the UK. The influencers Andrew Tate and his brother.
Sees from my dishes every single day was just so dehumanizing of an experience.
The social media influencer and self-styled misogynist Andrew and his brother Tristan are facing rape and prostitution charges in the UK. The Tates are thought to be in Romania, where they are already facing prosecution. Olivia is here to take us through the details, and this is the first time we've heard these details about charges they're facing in the UK.
Yes, Andrew Tate is accused of 10 charges in Britain, which include rape, actual bodily harm, human trafficking and controlling prostitution for gain. These charges relate to 3 alleged victims. His brother Tristan faces 11 charges, which also include rape, actual bodily harm and human trafficking against 1 alleged victim. Now, the Tates haven't responded to these charges themselves, but they have reposted claims online that they are innocent. Now, Bedfordshire Police issued an international arrest warrant for the Tates last year, but the details of that have only just emerged. The brothers are already facing criminal prosecution in Romania, which involves allegations of trafficking minors, sex with a minor and money laundering. They both deny any wrongdoing there. Here, Andrew Tate also faces a landmark civil case brought by 4 women. Landmark because it is the first time a claim has been brought against anyone for the crime of coercive control, which Andrew Tate also denies. Now, the Tates are due to be extradited to the UK, but not before those criminal proceedings in Romania have concluded. Now, to call Andrew Tate an influencer is something of an understatement. He has millions of followers on social media, and his videos have been watched hundreds of millions of times. Now, he calls himself a misogynist, and police here have voiced concerns that the hatred of women in some of his online content could do harm to some of its viewers.
Olivia, thank you very much. Thank you for that update.
Major news today. UK prosecutors have confirmed for the first time that they have authorised charges of rape and human trafficking against Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan. Between the two of them, they are accused of 21 offences, and we learned from the CPS today that the charges were levelled against them last year as a result of arrest warrants executed by Bedfordshire Police. The Tate brothers, with millions of social media followers for their brand of toxic masculinity, are of course in Romania, facing an array of charges there that they deny. They are also dual UK-US citizens, and senior figures within the Trump administration helped them to fly to Florida in February, where they spent about a month before voluntarily returning to Romania. They're now facing charges in the UK. Is the UK going to have to wait for the Romanian process to finish before it stands any chance of them coming back to the UK to face trial here?
Good evening, and thank you for having me on. Yes, so what you've said is correct. The process will have to play out in Romania first before they then presumably they're extradited to the UK to face the charges here. So we don't know how long the thing in Romania has been going on for several years now. It seems likely it will conclude this year. It seems likely there will be the trial this year. But again, it's been going on. This has been going on since 2022. So we don't know. And then only after that, though, will they face the 21. We'll have to kind of account for the 21 charges in the UK.
But how complicating a factor is it that they have American passports, and apparently a Trump administration that at levels close to President Trump seemed more than willing to assist them when they first left Romania and headed to Florida?
Yeah, so there are links between the Tate brothers and the Trump administration. So, I mean, the Tate brothers were repatriated for a while to the US. So they basically were allowed to go to the US for I think it was a month, and now they've returned to Romania. And partly that seems to have been facilitated by Trump's special envoy, who was reported to have had a conversation with Russia's foreign minister at the Munich Security Conference, of all places. So there does seem to be that facilitation. But then the Tate brothers also did go back to Romania. So I don't think it's unlikely they'll try and completely escape justice, especially as now there's a case ongoing in Romania and the UK as well. And I think the scale of the charges, I think they genuinely also believe that they're going to get off, that they're going to be found innocent for this in Romania. They seem, obviously there's the bluster, which is all part of the persona, but I actually think the fact that they did return to Romania, it would seem that they do believe that they're actually going to get off on the things they're accused of.
I'm interested in the bluster. From the work that you've done on your book, Lost Boys, A Personal Journey Through the Manosphere, do you think they relish the chance to go through these legal processes, that actually they're not afraid of these legal processes particularly because it all helps to build the brand?
I mean, to an extent, I wouldn't say they relish the level it's got to now. I mean, because what they're having to do is they're having to keep up that persona, because that is the business model essentially. So a lot of these, so the Tates in particular, but a lot of the manosphere influencers, there's very much the business model is built on this telegenic kind of charisma and bombastic kind of persona, hypermasculinity, presenting this idea of never being phased, of never kind of being weak or quote unquote unmanly or effeminate, and the way they perform in front of the cameras kind of they have to play up to that essentially. But you do kind of see, especially Tristan, you do kind of see sometimes when they don't think the cameras are rolling, or after a press conference, you do sometimes see Tristan especially looking what I would say was gaunt, and the way I would describe it as gaunt and worried. I don't think the actual court cases they relish. I think controversy they relish, but I'm not sure they'll relish when these cases actually come to court in Romania initially. I don't think they'll be relishing that, for instance. I think that's not what they bargained for.
And can I have them get to Florida? And then the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, who looked at this situation and said, I don't want them in the Sunshine State. There's definitely tension within Republican circles about them.
Yes, there is. And funny, there is in the manosphere as well. So you also have kind of more conservative commentators, Jordan Peterson, for example, who they may not object to some of the things that the Tates say, but they really find this, their model of conservatism is really opposed to this kind of what they see as the sleaziness of people like the Tates and this worship of kind of money. And traditional conservatism, as embodied maybe by someone like Ron DeSantis, someone who I vehemently disagree with about a whole bunch of things, someone like that is still kind of repulsed at the kind of sleaziness of this kind of lifestyle that Tates present and stuff. It is kind of anathema to someone like that. I find that very interesting, and that split goes right through, I think, the Trump administration. You do have these traditional people who seem to worship money and crypto and want to present these, like the Tates, present this very ostentatious, quite sleazy kind of lifestyle.
He's been charged with rape in the UK. The Crown Prosecution Service says Andrew Tate faces 10 charges in total, including human trafficking, bodily harm, and prostitution offenses relating to 3 women. His brother Tristan is charged with 11 offenses relating to 1 woman. The charge came after prosecutors received evidence from Bedfordshire police regarding the allegations. The UK charges are in addition to ones that the brothers already face in Romania, and they must be settled first before they can be extradited. The Tate brothers have always denied the allegations against them.
They're saying in 2008, I assaulted somebody. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, doesn't even say. On the arrest warrant, it says 2008 assault. That's it. No time, no place, no person.
So Romania failed, now England tries. The Matrix is angry. They do this to any man who goes against them. Never give up, men, never give in. Do not be scared. Strength and honor.
No when, no where. Imagine I told you 15 years ago you assaulted someone.
UK prosecutors have confirmed they've authorised 21 charges against influencer brothers Andrew and Tristan Tate, including rape, actually body harm, and human trafficking. Andrew Tate, 38, faces 10 charges, which include a rape, actually body harm, human trafficking, and controlling prostitution with gain to 3 alleged victims, whereas Tristan Tate, 36, faces 11 charges, including rape, actually body harm, and human trafficking, connected to 1 alleged victim.
According, if you look up the BBC archives, I'm the worst man in the world. I'm the most dangerous person on the planet. The fact that, the UK hates me the most, but the fact that UK has a stabbing epidemic, an acid attack epidemic, random people turning up on the borders without passports, homeless crisis, energy crisis, old people freeze to death because they can't afford their electricity bills, food is crazy, inflation, it's just entered a recession. The entire country is failing in real time by every metric you can measure a society by. And what do the politicians talk about when they go to Parliament? Andrew Tate said women can't drive. Andrew Tate said women can't drive. We need to stop this man. Insane. What they're actually doing, and I don't think many people realize, is what politicians and the elites have come up with this great idea, is that they don't want to fix any of the problems of society. What they want to do is attack the people who highlight the problems of society. So we have all these problems and we don't want to fix them. So let's get anyone who tells people about the problems in trouble so that nobody talks about them so they can continue rampantly. So they don't want to fix the crime in the inner cities, but if you talk about it, you get in trouble. That's what they're doing now. They're shutting up the people who point out the obvious as opposed to fixing the things that need to be fixed.
The Tube is a name virtually everyone has heard of. A 4-time world kickboxing champion, self-made multimillionaire entrepreneur, internet phenomenon with billions of views, and one of the most polarizing voices of our time.
This is all women's fault. Women did this. A girl boss is not someone running around saying, I hate men, I don't need men. And all those women who say, I don't need men are fucking liars because you do need men.
You're raising men, you're raising boys, you're marrying husbands.
That's right.
What are you doing? Demonizing them.
But fame comes with a cost, and for Tate, that's meant global scrutiny, criminal charges, and months behind bars.
This podcast will be watched by government agencies. They will watch this. They will analyze with a psychiatrist Me, you, the entire world is a battle for influence. And if you're influential, they need to get you under somebody.
What makes a man more enslaved? The guy that's living paycheck to paycheck in the rat race, or someone that has money and power but stays silent on big topics that matter?
You ask me very good questions that I have to genuinely think about.
Are you afraid of anything?
Yes, I'm afraid of.
Charged Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan with rape and human trafficking, among other charges. The BBC reports the Crown Prosecution Service filed the charges after receiving new evidence against the far-right influencer brothers from a regional police station. Andrew Tate faces 10 charges connected to 3 alleged victims, while Tristan faces 11 charges connected to 1 alleged victim, on allegations dating back between 2012 and 2015, according to reports. The brothers have previously rejected the UK allegations, saying they are, quote, very innocent men. Despite also facing similar charges in their country of residence, Romania, the British-American brothers were allowed to return to the United States in February. At the time, Andrew set up the charges against them.
We live in a democratic society where it's innocent until proven guilty, and I think my brother and I are largely misunderstood. There's a lot of opinions about us, a lot of things that go around about us on the internet. We've yet to be convicted of any crime in our lives ever.
Reports say they have since returned to Romania, where they face charges of sex with a minor and trafficking. They both deny the allegations. According to the BBC, those charges will be handled after the criminal cases are concluded in Romania.
Andrew, why did you inflame tensions after the Southport attacks?
What are you talking about? Sorry? What's your name? What's your name? Quickly?
My name's Will, I'm from the BBC.
Ah, you're a nobody.
I'm a nobody, apparently.
Influencer Andrew Tate has been accused of putting a gun in a woman's face. In court documents seen by BBC News, 4 women are suing the self-proclaimed misogynist in the High Court, accusing him of rape or assault. Mr. Tate denies all the women's claims, saying they are untrue and a pack of lies. Lucy Manning reports.
Andrew Tate in the black hoodie, accused in Romania of rape and trafficking, which he denies. But here in the UK, 4 women are suing him at the High Court, claiming he raped or assaulted them. Sienna, not her real name, has told the BBC why they've taken out a civil case.
We want the public to know how much of an evil man he really is. A good result would be justice for our side, and to be believed, I think, to just be believed for everything we've said.
Documents filed at the High Court have been seen by the BBC. They set out the women's allegations from 2013 to 2015. Prosecutors here decided not to charge him. The documents claim he threatened one with a gun. On one occasion, putting a gun in her face, it says, and then pointing it at her while saying things like, I'm a boss, I'm a... Gee, you're going to do as I say, or there'll be hell to pay. Another woman claims the defendant raped her. She was crying. He had his hand around her neck. As she tried to tell him that she did not want him to do what he was doing, he would strangle her more forcefully. Sienna claims, during sex, the defendant strangled her to the point where she lost consciousness. She was not able to defend herself whilst being strangled. Andrew Tate, in his 67-page defence submission, claims the women can't sue him because too much time has passed and texts and emails will have been lost. He also denies all the claims, calling them gross fabrications, a pack of lies, and untrue. He claims all the sexual activity was consensual and he wasn't violent or controlling towards them. Andrew Tate also denies the claim he put a gun in one defendant's face. Sienna also claims she saw a gun, but didn't know if it was real. He says there may have been a toy gun in the house.
There was a gun on his sofa. I didn't really mention it to him or anything, but I distinctly remember it being there and kind of being a bit freaked out by it because it's not really something you see in the UK.
On the other claims made by Sienna, his defence submission says they had consensual sex. The defendant did not pin her down or do anything violent. He did not strangle her or simulate strangulation. Andrew Tate has now been allowed by Romanian authorities to travel to other countries, but Sienna wants him extradited.
It's just horrible to see. It just makes you, makes you feel like maybe men feel like they can get away with anything. I think the UK should be pushing a lot harder. I think they've had an opportunity to do that and they haven't.
Andrew Tate facing allegations in the UK, US and Romania. Lucy Manning, BBC News.
Uppercut!